Hey everybody, welcome to Leon's Chainsaw Parts and Repair. Excuse me, we're looking at Saw 3 from Jim 150. So the other one that had the leaky tank, decided that was going to be just a parts saw. This 150, Jim bought new in 1979. And some folks, it's kind of funny, they'll... it's easy over 30 or 40 years for the date to get fuzzy, but not in this case. Jim's spot on the money, because you can see on that serial number that that's a 1978 saw, and it was produced on the 335th day of 78. So, what's that put it? Kind of mid to late November of 78. So, anyhow, this saw is a hard starter. I didn't try. I just, went with what Jim was telling me. Hard starter, but once it would get going, it'd run okay. Gonna assume fuel line and a carb kit. That makes sense at this point. It still has, excellent compression there. You can see the pop. It's got just fine. But boy, talk about caked with crap. Gonna get this thing cleaned out. I just wanted to show you what 42 years of running, and I don't think the saw's ever been apart. So 42 years of running, that is how much sawdust and trash can build up. I mean, if you're not familiar with a 150, the coil's underneath all this trash. Yeah, under all that sawdust, there is a coil. So, anyhow, I'm going to get this cleaned up and give it the thorough checking over. Again, because it is a runner, it's not going to take a whole lot. I'll probably throw a new sprocket on just because I've got it here. Makes sense too. But other than that, I'm planning on a carb kit and a fuel hose. And hopefully the next segment of video will be a test run. Okay, well, I wish I'd found something super definitive in there, but I didn't. The check valve in the carburetor appeared to be leaking some, so I replaced it. Ended up replacing the circuit plate gasket because that just tore on inspection. Some moisture had made it there at some point. I don't know if it was through ethanol or what, but there was a little bit of rust on the circuit plate. Other than that, and the order being reversed on one of the carburetor spacers versus the plate, couldn't really put my hand on anything. It was like, oh yeah, absolutely. That's why it would be hard to start. So, let's try to start it, and we'll see what it takes. So this is bone dry with a new fuel hose. Okay. I lost count if that was 8 or 9. Bone dry system, I'm not going to lose any sleep over that. That doesn't feel out of line, to be honest. I don't see any air bubbles in the hose, looking at it right here. I think I'm going to call that good, but I'll let it have the 2-day test, quote unquote, that I'm so repetitive about. But if it, if 5 or 6 pulls, it should be in the range. If it goes to 7, okay, I'm not going to lose any sleep, but all the garbage, the sawdust and stuff in there, it made me wonder if perhaps the intake boot, had a slight leak around it. Of course, it's just the same. It could have been a leaking fuel cap, sucking fuel through the air screen here and sawdust and creating that cake. But that's the other thing I'll look for now that I've run this. That's oil, but if I get any sort of fuel residue on the bottom of the saw that leaks out, then I'll kind of have an idea that maybe that's happening. But the spark plug, I went ahead and replaced that. It didn't, it looked like just what you would expect. It didn't look super dark, and it didn't look white like it was running super lean. So, I guess we could do the tip test on this real quick. Didn't do that. Yeah, I'm satisfied. I think this is good to go. So, Jim, I can say we finally had one that went smoothly. So I look forward to getting this back to you.